Hey there, fellow gun enthusiasts. Ever wondered why some World War II rifles are still kicking around and totally legal to own in the US? These bad boys didn't just see action, they changed the game. And guess what? You can still get your hands on them in 2025. Let's dive into the top 10 rifles that took down armies and survived the test of time. And hey, if you like what you're reading, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Survival Gear Showcase. We've got more where this came from. First up, the M1 Garand. This rifle's so legendary, General Patton called it the greatest battle implement ever devised. And let me tell you, holding one feels like gripping a piece of history. It's not just a gun, it's a time machine. Back in World War II, while the bad guys were fumbling with bolt actions, our boys were slinging lead with semi-auto speed. That 8-round en bloc clip? Pure genius. You could hear that ping across the battlefield, and everyone knew what it meant. Time to reload and keep fighting. I remember the first time I shot a Garand at a range in Texas. The recoil was stout, but the accuracy was unreal. It's like the rifle was built to hit bullseyes. And the craftsmanship? Top-notch. Collectors go nuts for these, and honestly, it's hard not to. It's like owning a piece of the greatest generation's grit. Chambered in 30-06 Springfield, it's got a punch that'll make you respect it. Legal to own, easy to find, and a blast to shoot. What's not to love? Next, the M1 Carbine. This little guy was supposed to be the sidekick to the Garand, but it stole the show. At just over 5 pounds, it's like the featherweight champ of World War II rifles. Paratroopers loved it because it didn't weigh them down when they jumped out of planes. And in the jungle, it was like having a trusty pocket knife, small but mighty. Sure, it's not a sniper rifle, but for close quarters chaos, it's a keeper. A buddy of mine swears by his carbine for plinking. He says it's like shooting a .22 on steroids, fun, fast, and easy on the shoulder. It fires the .30 carbine round, which isn't a powerhouse, but it gets the job done up close. Plus, it's affordable compared to other World War II rifles. So it's a great entry point for new collectors. You can still snag one without breaking the bank, and it's 100% legal in most states. Now the M1903 Springfield. This bolt-action beauty was the sniper's best friend. It's like the sharpshooter of the bunch, quiet, deadly, and always on target. In the Pacific, it took out threats from hundreds of yards away. No sweat. Collectors drool over its craftsmanship, and honestly, it's hard not to. It's like owning a piece of art that can still punch holes in paper, or worse. I've seen a Springfield at a gun show with a scope so clear it felt like cheating. The bolt action is smooth as butter, and the accuracy is unreal. Chambered in 30-06 like the Garand, it's got range and power. Back in the day, it was the go-to for marksmen before the Garand took over. Today, it's a favorite for history buffs and precision shooters alike. If you're into long-range shooting or just want a rifle with a story, this one's a gem. Next, the Carabiner 98K, aka the K98 Mauser. This bolt-action beast was the backbone of the German infantry in World War II, and it's got a reputation as tough as a Panzer. Chambered in 8mm Mauser, 7.92 by 57 millimeters, if you're feeling technical, this rifle's got range, power, and a history that's equal parts awe-inspiring and chilling. It saw action everywhere from the frozen steppes of Russia to the deserts of North Africa, and it never quit. I got my hands on a K98 at a gun show a while back, and let me tell you, the weight of it, both literal and historical, hits you hard. The bolt cycles like a dream, and the accuracy is spot on for a rifle pushing 80 years old. It's not semi-auto fancy, but when you're popping rounds downrange, you feel like you're channeling some serious Teutonic precision. Collectors love these for their craftsmanship, wood stocks, steel guts, and that iconic Mauser action. Pro tip: if you're hunting one down, check the markings. A legit wartime K98 with matching numbers can set you back a pretty penny, but it's worth it for the story alone. Legal to own, easy to maintain, and a blast to shoot. Just watch out for that recoil. It's got a German-sized kick. Next, we've got the Lee-Enfield No. 4 Mark I, the British Empire's answer to everything that went bang in World War II. This rifle's claim to fame? The fastest bolt action in the game. Trained shooters could crank out 20 to 30 aimed rounds a minute, which is nuts for a non-semi-auto. Chambered in .303 British, it's got a solid punch and a 10-round magazine that laughs in the face of the K98's 5. I've shot a Lee-Enfield at a range up in the Midwest, and it's like a well-oiled V8 engine, smooth, fast, and loud. The bolt's so slick you barely feel it, and that mag capacity? It's like the rifle saying, "Keep going, mate. I've got you covered." British troops swore by it from Dunkirk to Burma, and snipers loved the scoped versions for picking off targets at insane distances. Today, it's a favorite for collectors and shooters who want something practical, yet historic. The .303 round's still out there, though it ain't cheap, and the rifle's built like a brick house. If you're into rapid-fire drills or just want a piece of Churchill's finest, this one's a keeper. Oh, and fun fact, that bayonet lug? You can still mount a 17-inch spike on it, because why not? Next, the Mosin-Nagant M91. This Soviet warhorse is the rifle equivalent of a tank, rugged, reliable, and damn near unkillable. Chambered in 7.62 by 54 mm R, it's been dropping jaws and targets since the 1890s, but it really shined in World War II. The Red Army churned these out by the millions, and they're still floating around today like the cockroaches of the gun world, in a good way. A buddy of mine has a Mosin he swears could double as a club if the ammo runs out. I've fired it myself, and yeah, it's a beast. The recoil's like a mule kick, and the fireball out the muzzle, you'll feel like you're starring in a war movie. That long barrel and stout round make it a long-range champ, perfect for collectors who double as deer hunters. Here's the kicker. These things are dirt cheap compared to other World War II rifles. You can snag a decent one for a few $100, Cosmoline and all. Clean it up, hit the range, and you've got a piece of history that still spits fire. Just don't skimp on ear protection. That 7.62 by 54 mm R roars like a bear with a hangover. Next, the Carcano M91 an Italian bolt-action rifle that's probably best known for a dark moment in history. Yep, it's the one Lee Harvey Oswald used in JFK's assassination. But let's not let that overshadow its actual merits. Chambered in 6.5 by 52 mm Carcano, this rifle was Italy's workhorse during World War II, and it's got some unique features that make it stand out. The Carcano uses an on-block clip system. Think M1 Garand vibes, where you load 6 rounds in a metal clip that pops out when empty. It's a slick setup, and the rifle's surprisingly accurate for what was basically a budget-friendly design. I got my hands on one at a gun show a few years back, and despite its age, it shot tighter groups than I expected. The action's smooth, the walnut stock feels solid, and it's light enough to carry all day. Collectors love it for its history and affordability. Plenty of these surplus rifles are still floating around. Plus, that infamous JFK connection gives it a morbid cool factor. If you're into Italian engineering or just want a piece of World War II that won't break the bank, the Carcano's a hidden gem. Next, we've got the Type 99 Arisaka, Japan's answer to the bolt-action game. Chambered in 7.7 by 58 mm, this rifle was built to take a beating in the Pacific Theater. Think jungles, humidity, and relentless combat. What makes it special? The chrome-lined bore, a feature way ahead of its time. That shiny lining kept corrosion at bay, which was clutch in those damp, salty conditions. I fired a Type 99 once, and it's a beast. Strong action, decent kick, and some wild extras like anti-aircraft sights, because why not aim at planes, and a fold-out monopod for stability. It's quirky, sure, but it works. The accuracy's solid, and the craftsmanship holds up even today. If you find one with the Imperial Chrysanthemum stamp intact, you've got a collector's gold mine. Many were defaced after Japan's surrender. This rifle's a survivor, plain and simple. It's not as common as a Mosin, but if you're into Pacific World II history or just love a gun with character, the Type 99 is calling your name. Now, the M1941 Johnson, a semi-auto oddball that nearly stole the M1 Garand's thunder, designed by Melvin Johnson, this rifle uses a short recoil system and holds 10 rounds of .30-06 Springfield in a rotary magazine. It's a cool concept, lighter than the Garand and with a unique vibe, but it lost the Army contract because of reliability hiccups and production costs. I've shot one of these at a range, and it's a trip. The recoil's snappy, the design's sleek, and it feels like a what could have been story. The Marine Corps gave it a spin in the Pacific, and the Dutch military used it too, but it never hit the big time. Still, it's got a cult following among collectors who dig its rarity and that funky rotary mag. If you're a fan of underdog stories or semi-auto history, the M1941 Johnson is worth tracking down. Just don't expect to find ammo lying around. It's a bit of a diva in that department. Last but not least, the M1A1 Paratrooper Carbine, a folding stock version of the beloved M1 Carbine. Chambered in .30 carbine, this little guy was made for paratroopers who needed something light and handy when jumping out of planes. The folding stock is the star here. Flip it out and you've got a compact rifle that's perfect for tight spaces. I've messed around with an M1A1 at a reenactment event, and it's a blast. At under 6 pounds, it's easy to carry, and the semi-auto action is smooth as butter. It's not a powerhouse like a Garand, but it's quick, reliable, and stupidly fun to shoot. Collectors and reenactors adore it. Those folding stocks scream World War II cool, and it's still legal for civilian ownership in most places. If you're into mobility or just want a rifle that looks badass in a display case, the M1A1 Paratrooper Carbine delivers. There you have it, 10 World War II rifles that are still available in 2025. From the Carcano's Italian charm to the Type 99's rugged quirks, the M1941 Johnson's near-miss glory, and the M1A1's paratrooper swagger, these guns round out a killer list. Pair them with the 6 we've already covered, the M1 Garand, Mosin-Nagant, Lee-Enfield Mauser K98K, SVT-40, and M1903 Springfield, and you've got a collection that spans the globe and tells the story of a world at war. Which one's your favorite? Got a story about shooting one of these classics? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep your powder dry and your history alive. Catch you on the range.